Hi there, thanks for taking time out with Twinpossible. Pardon my do here. I came back from the beach, one of my fave places. There's a random question answer. But today we're going to do random questions. A lot of vloggers, bloggers, etc. are doing that. So I thought that'd be a really cool thing to get to know each other a little better. And if you want to be tagged and participate, please do. Okay, so when's the last time I ran? Well, I run from my kids and after my kids, so I guess I do that every single day. Last time I ran for real, for fitness, long time. I'm a sprinter, not a long distance person. Running's not really my thing. I like to take walks, like a power walk. Okay, what did I want to be when I grew up? I wanted to be a princess, dancer, singer, movie star, teacher. I wanted to adopt more children than Angelina Jolie, and I used to have my Cabbage Patch dolls, my 9 girls and 1 boy, the boy I stole from my brother, and teach a fake class, and you know, I really wanted to help people, but at the same time be this royalty and magical woman. I guess I created that in my mind because I knew that I probably would never accomplish any of that. But I also knew I wanted to be a mother, so I did accomplish that, and for that I'm happy. And I'm not the best singer, so I guess the, you know, R&B records didn't miss out on much. Let's see. What TV personality or personalities did I have a crush on when I was growing up? Michael J. Fox I thought was cool in a kind of like a nerdy way, because he was really smart. But definitely when Growing Pains came on, man, Kirk Cameron, he was so cute. He could have kissed me on the cheek anytime, because now I'm talking in the lingo that I would have been when I was a little kid. So I am not going to say suck my face or anything like that. But definitely them. And Antonio Sabato Jr. in my a little bit older years, he was a finey too. Okay, but husband knows it, so it's alright. Alright, what is my dream vacation? Any place that doesn't involve children? No kids around? Me and the husband? Oh. And as much as I would love to do that, because I haven't done that since before my almost 8-year-old was born, we went to Vegas. I would love to go to Vegas, gamble, have some free drinks, take in some shows. That'd be awesome! But at the same time, I want to give my kids a dream vacation too, and I hear those awesome luxury Disney cruises, which I would love to do, have some babysitting too, so you can kind of get away from the kids at times, to have one-on-one time with your spouse, I guess, so that's cool. But I've seen those fantasy voyages, and oh my god, I would love it, love it. I mean, with all those crazy cruise disasters and weird things going on, I still would trust Disney. I'd still take a free vacation, no doubt. So that I would love to do that. I would love to give the kids the experience of Disney World. I went when I was 8, but at the time I was such a wuss, I didn't go on anything. I watched my parents and my brother go on everything, and so I never went back since. So all I got around me is these little rinky-dinky places. Nothing would compare. So I would love to go to Disney and ride all the roller coasters and things I used to be afraid of. One thing I want to do before I die, I'd like to help change the world in some way. I like to think that my blogging does help others. They tell me I'm an inspiration, and that makes me feel good. I don't ever feel that way because of that, but if my writing helps people, great. I'd like to write a couple of self-help books that might help women, you know, also bully victims, people who are being bullied, youngsters and adults alike, because we're still affected. And also I would like to you know, maybe write a book on domestic violence, rape victims, things that I've personally experienced that I can share my stories with, so people know that there is hope at the end of the tunnel and light, and that there is a way to survive it. Just to change a little bit of the world in a good, positive way, which whether it's a book, whether it's seminars, or whether it's, you know, whatever. And also maybe educating like youngsters about teenage pregnancy and things like that, and helping them make informed decisions, because I know things happen. I was date raped, and I got pregnant at 18, turned 19, and had my baby, and I know that some of my friends even had them younger, and how difficult it is to be in that position. So I would like to help youngsters in that horrible situation as well, that there can be a positive outcome there too, and that they do have choices. Would I ever be a porn star? I'd rather be a mortician or an ass doctor, pardon my French. And ass doctor, there can be nothing worse than that. Mortician, you know, they're right up there together. So if I say that I'd rather do that, then obviously I do not want to be a porn star. Hell no. Okay, what do I want to know about the future? I want to know nothing about the future. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't want to know when I'm going to die, how I'm going to die, anything about my children. I don't want to know it because, you know what? I worry enough. I want to live in the present. I already just getting over obsessing about the past. So knowing too much about the future would freak me out. Don't want to know anything about it. Last time I got pulled over, actually, believe it or not, despite the fact that I am like a crazy driver, but a good crazy driver. My husband's a driver for a living, and I think I'm better than him. I don't care what he has to say about it because I just think I'm a great driver. And I know I am because the last time he got a ticket wasn't that long ago. Last time I got a ticket was '98, and I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. So I got pulled, actually 98, no, 96 is when I got the ticket. 98, I didn't get a ticket. 96, I was pregnant with my son, and I ended up, I was having some contractions, and I was trying to get over to my mom's house, and I ended up getting pulled over going 75, which normally around here in New York isn't much, but the state troopers are really tough. And I don't want to use another word for what most people consider them here, but he pulled me over, and he was this big Jamaican guy. He was humongous. I was so intimidated by him when he said, "Do you have any excuse for why you were speeding?" I said, "No." Had I just said, "I'm 8 months pregnant, I'm having contractions," they were false, no less, but I was scared. Then I could have got off the hook, but he was so serious and so intimidating, I didn't try. In '98, the seatbelt thing, the guy, you know, says, "I'm supposed to give you a ticket." I ended up talking to the guy for like an hour and a half, and he asked for my driver's license, my insurance card, and my registration, and the horrible thing was I had nothing. I had just changed cars because I had a car that got totaled. My brother borrowed it and totaled it, so I had to buy a new car, and then I didn't have it in there, and my license, I didn't have it. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get like 20 tickets. And then when I was looking for just proof of where I lived and everything else in my name, my Save the Children sponsor, which I was for a few years, I was a Save the Children sponsor, came out, and he thought that was so sweet and so giving, encouraging, and he just liked that about me, and, you know, just complimented me a little, and I wasn't flirting with him. If anything, the other way around, but no ticket. Do I think I'm hot? I have never once thought I was hot. Now I look back at pictures of certain times, like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, about those years. I think that now I look back and I say, wow, I was pretty. Why was I complaining so much? But I had this body dysmorphic disorder, like probably stemming from bullying and dysfunction in my family, that didn't ever make me see things, even when things turned around after being bullied and people told me I was beautiful. I never believed it. Now I think, look at myself and I say, oh God, I should have been happy then, because look at me now. My greatest fear in life is ever losing another child. I would never, ever, 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 ever want to go through that again. It's the most horrible experience in the world. And for anyone who lived through it, I know you know what I mean, and I never wished it on my worst enemy. So I would never survive that, and I don't even want to know about it. And my second greatest fear is dying and not being able to watch my children grow up and see my grandkids. So I take care of my health now more than ever before, and care more than I did in my teens. I couldn't have cared less if I died. You know, anything could have happened to me, I would have been happy. Honestly, I was depressed. But in my faith, you kill yourself, you go to hell. So I wasn't doing that. I have a fear of like aging. I refuse to age gracefully. I love people who can do that. I just admire them so much. I'm just like, I think my mother being so into the anti-aging thing when growing up and rubbing wrinkle creams all over her kind of messed up my head, and obsessing over her appearance kind of screwed me up, along with my body dysmorphic disorder, made me panic about aging. So aging and death and airplanes, I'm afraid of them, but if somebody gave me a free trip, I'll take a Valium or something, and I will have a couple drinks and I will go. or one or the other, but whatever has to be done. The worst let's see, what's my middle name? Listen, there are people that want to know. Even my own father doesn't remember, and you ain't gonna get that out of me. Don't try to guess it, because you're not gonna get it, and I'm not gonna tell you. What is my favorite part of my body? I don't like almost everything. There's like nothing on me that I wouldn't change if it was easy, affordable, and non-surgical. I have ugly feet, so you know, I can't. My lips are okay. My lips are all right. Everything else, I used to be happy with some things, but after twins, I guess my stomach looks all right. But after a belly button piercing incident, you know, I don't feel the same about it. But whatever. Let's move on. My boobs are holding their own, but they're still not like 17. But they're okay for 5 kids. The furthest I've ever traveled to Arizona, and I had to get like real tipsy for that. I don't know which is further, that or Vegas, but it was after 9/11, right after, and you know what? I was freaking bugging out. Turbulence had me scare the whole plane, and I just thought something horrible was going to happen, so like I really needed to be subdued. There were no children involved here. That's why I want to go on the cruise. Okay. It could be any age at all and stay that way. What would my favorite age be? I guess 21 if I wasn't pregnant to enjoy it. Yeah, I'd say 21 because if I could be the perfect age, I would say 21. Because before, you know, the wrinkles come, but you're at us, you know, the hardships of high school and the bullying in my case. You know, if I had good parents, maybe I'd want to be younger in childhood, but since I didn't have the perfect family life, 21, out on your own, and you're looking pretty good, and I think that's probably the best I ever looked was about 21, so I would go back to that. Favorite food? Lobster. I love it, love it, love it, but I don't get it that often because it's quite expensive, and we don't get to go out that much since the twins came around. Not many people around can handle them for several hours, aside from us, which, cheesecake is another, oh God, I love, love, love it, but I limit it because it's obviously really, really fattening and bad. Wine, beer, or liquor? Well, they always say liquor is quicker, but I haven't had liquor in a long time, honestly. I used to work at a bar, and I drank more so back then, you know, just to like loosen up to do the job, but, you know, I'd have to say a nice red wine. I like the feeling of wine. It's relaxing. I think most moms will agree that wine, white or red or whatever your preference is, kind of like soothes you, relaxes you, takes away the stress. I only get some like once a week, so you know, it's like a date night thing. We have our date nights at home most times now, but you know, that would be it. And a couple beers in the sun outside sometimes. That's not a bad thing either. But it's not all the time. Why when I'm doing a freaking video, I go, oh, this long guy's got to come along when I want everything to be quiet. I hope you can hear me. Pets do I got? I got 3 dogs. A pug, a Labrador that looks like a polar bear who's metabolically challenged. Please don't judge. She really is. And a little teacup Yorkie. But they said she'd be around 3 pounds, but they obviously wanted to starve her because the thing came to us at like a pound, and now she's probably 5, so she's eating good. Texting or calling? Who the heck wants to talk to their mother? Not me. Well, some people might, but not me. So I am definitely, I said I'd never be a texter, but I like to text because it's easy, and I can say hi and bye, and you don't have that like, yeah, what can I, you know, thinking in your back of your head, what can I say to get off the phone? What can I say? What can I say? Trying to come up with a fib. So it's pretty good. I like that. Instrument I wish I could play. I played the flute in junior high and high school. I wanted to play the violin. For some reason my parents didn't buy me one of those. And mostly I wanted to own a piano and take lessons, but they wouldn't let me do that either. So I tried guitar as a kid because my father could play it, but it made my hands all blistery, and I ended up giving up on that. So I had keyboards throughout the years, but I never had a piano, so I still wish I could get one and take lessons, because I was pretty good at playing by ear, so that would be really cool. The first concert I ever went to, don't hate, New Kids on the Block. But I was really young, so please, okay? Jordan was hot, and Joey was pretty darn cute too back then. So please don't hate. Please don't. The last one I went to was about 10 years ago. Either Aerosmith or Bon Jovi. We went to like 2 in the same like 6 months to a year, so I can't remember which was which. But who would I like to see? I wouldn't mind seeing Pink. I think Pink rocks it out. But I don't know if I'm going anywhere anytime soon. I still think Bon Jovi's pretty damn cool. Do I believe in ghosts? Absolutely, because I have seen them, and I don't want anyone to get spooked out by that or think I'm a nutcase, but I definitely did when I was a child, and I used to write in my school journal all about my experiences and stuff and things, but like, you know, in the story form. And when my teacher read that, he goes, you have an extremely, you know, you have an extremely vivid imagination, and you're a very good writer like that. And I'm like, and I have a good imagination. And I was like, well, really, these things are true. And he kind of thought that. And he's like, I went to a private school, and he's like, you have an amazing gift that guy gave you. And I didn't consider it a gift. I thought it was a curse. It used to scare the heck out of me. My grandmother died, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, because when she was in the nursing home, you know, they had told us that she was doing well, and I gave her a lollipop, and we went home, and she died later on, a few hours later, with the lollipop that I gave her in her mouth. And we didn't, you know that she was going to go, because things were looking good. So I saw her one night. I went to the fridge to get some orange juice, and I saw her coming up the stairs, because she used to live downstairs, seeing her coming up with her arms open to hug me and like say goodbye. And I freaked out, dropped the container of orange juice that I was drinking out of, ran to bed, woke up and got really, really, really in trouble for the orange juice. But I had some scary things, like not as scary as The Sixth Sense or anything, but that's one of my favorite movies. That's scary. But I did have some scary things to where I said, I don't want this gift if it's a gift. And he told me to like denounce it and pray to God, you know, to get rid of it. And I never saw anything since that was like that again. But I do sleep with the lights on. I mean, I did sleep with the lights on when I was a kid, and after, you know, all these experiences. And then I do sleep with the TV on every night out of habit. I just can't be in the dark, because I think too much, and then also I'm afraid that I might see something still. So I definitely believe in ghosts. I do like signs from heaven, though, from my son and stuff that I lost. I do get that. So I still have a bit of a psychic sense to me, but those certain things are gone. How many boyfriends have I ever had? Well, I've had long-term relationships, meaning like I think the least was 3 years, 6 years, 3 years, and with my husband now 13. So 4, you know, main boyfriends, and you know, I had a couple one-daters and stuff like that, but not many. You know, I could have, but I wasn't never that type of person, so it was kind of like whatever. Did I kiss on the first date? Not really. No, I don't think, maybe once. I don't think I ever really did. Not that I can remember. Do I believe in UFOs? Well, here's the thing. Do I believe people are getting abducted and done experiments on and then being sent back down to Earth? I doubt that, because unless we're doing the same and the government's covering things up, which I believe the government covers things up, maybe cures for cancer or AIDS. I'm sure that they know a lot of things that we'd like to know that we don't, but you know, and that could be, there could be aliens. I'm not saying that, but we, you know, it's a possibility. But I don't believe some of the stories that I see on like Maury or something. But you know, to the other, if there's life on this planet, to them, they could be there thinking that we're the aliens. So who the heck knows, right? Do I have any tattoos or piercings? I have no tattoos. If I were ever to get one, it would have to be like for my children or for my lost angel, because kids are forever. I told my husband I wouldn't even get you, because you know what? Even as much as I love him and know we'll be together forever, I just say that definitely, no, kids only, because they are for life. They're for life. They're for eternity. So no, I don't. I had my belly pierced when I was about 22, and I had about 8 years, and I woke up one day and it had ripped out in my sleep, and I could have left it be and then re-pierced it, but unfortunately I went to a plastic surgeon thinking that that would be better and then get it pierced and that it would look perfect, but they stitched it the wrong way, horizontally instead of vertically, and for $2,500 plus a $300 consultation fee, I got botched, and now it caves in, and that's pretty much why I won't wear like a bikini to the pool or the beach without putting a fake tattoo or covering it up in some way. Because of that, it kind of looks yucky. If I could have it pierced again, a note would stay in, I would, but they won't touch it. I think they're kind of cool and sexy, and I think that we can still pull it off. Walmart or Target? Both. I think Target's a little better. Walmart's closer to my house, so I tend to go there more often. So Target's more of a treat, but definitely I love them both. My favorite time of the year is definitely spring and summer. I come alive during those months. I do not like the winter. I think it's highly overrated, and I wonder what the heck we're paying so much money for in New York to live here with like 7, 8 months out of the year being cold and blah. I don't know. A Wii or PS3? Well, with kids in the house, I really don't get a chance to play any of them, so what does it matter? I had a Wii that was given to me for Christmas when I was pregnant with the balance board and the Zumba game, and my husband gave it to me so I could try to work out, but unfortunately it got gifted over to one of my kids, and the twins ended up breaking it, and so I don't have one. So if I ever got one, maybe off Craigslist or something, I could pop in the Zumba thing, and maybe I'll do it in the year 2020, or when the kids go to school full-time, all of them. And, you know, I guess now it's probably $10 for that game, and at the time it was full price, so whatever. Oh well, sacrifice to motherhood. Have I ever lost anything important to me? The most valuable thing sentimentally that I lost was, because I lost a $6,500 bracelet. So definitely sentimentally, I lost. Worth more than that, in my opinion, was an Afghan that my grandmother, who was, like I told you, lived downstairs. She was my best friend, my mother, father, everything all rolled up into one person. She was my world. And when she died, you know, I was devastated, but I had an Afghan. So when I went to college, when I was 17, I went away to college, and when I came back at the Port Authority, I was waiting for someone to pick me up, and I had my stuff down there with a bunch of other people waiting, and I mean, I'd been talking to them, and they were all sitting in the same place, and I went up to get pizza, naive my little self was, and came back down, and all my stuff was gone. So I didn't really care about all my other possessions, like my clothes and things, but the fact that knowing some hobo was using my Afghan, that was my only possession owned to me by my grandmother, it was very devastating. Still sad to me to think about. My favorite color is definitely hot pink. I'm like a bright person. I like sunny colors that are like, you know, wowing. I don't, you know, my favorite color when I was younger was black, so you could see that I obviously pepped up a bit in my mental status and thinking. Scary movies or love stories? Definitely not the love stories. I like the scary movies. I like horror flicks, but it takes a lot to scare me, so they don't have that much out there. I mean, Saw movies had a lot of gore and stuff, but they didn't scare me. Pinhead didn't really scare me. Freddy Krueger scared me because I had a lot of nightmares always, so like knowing that he could get into your dreams like that kind of freaked me out. But Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is probably my fave. Favorite TV show of all time, Married with Children and Seinfeld. I think they're classics. There was great to see a dysfunctional family that I could relate to, and also there was Seinfeld, which just made a phenomenal team with one another and was very funny. And it's hard to make me laugh, so those two shows made me laugh, and I still watch reruns of them to this day. biggest regret in life was staying in an abusive relationship for as long as I did. I'm very proud of myself for getting away for the sake of my kid, but you know what, at the same time I say, why didn't I get out earlier? I wasted a nice chunk of my life, 15 to 21 years old. That's like, you know, some of the best time of your life, your childhood. Shut up! But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it but reflect on it. I have girls now that I have to watch out for, and so my experience will then help me to prevent them from ever getting involved in anything like that. So I learned a lot, and I gained strength from it, and I survived it. So I'm a survivor. And my first job was a newspaper girl. I was about 10 years old, and my father put a big basket on both sides of my bike and in the front, and I used to take the papers door to door. I wouldn't make my kids do that. Their homework is enough, and just like a few things around the house. But back then, my father was just like, get a job. And my last job is motherhood, and I'm still waiting on the paycheck, but it's well worth it. But they say that mothers should get like $100 and something thousand a year. I think that should mean per child, right? So I'd be really, really rich. Maybe one day they'll implement some kind of law, but for now, hugs, kisses, and a little bit of frustration, but then hence the red wine, and we'll survive it, and it'll be worthwhile. It all is worthwhile. There's rough times, but hey, you see them through. You see them through. Would I ever eat a crayon? Heck no. What would make you think that? Do I have a car that's worth over $2,000? Well, my husband says that each of his rims cost more than that, so, but that's a leased car, so who the heck cares? It's not like we bought it. So, but yes, and my minivan that I had to resort to, having the twins and all, which does make life a lot easier, but I was not a minivan mama to begin with. I would like a nice Mercedes convertible. I'll be the hippest granny finally one day when I get one. But the minivan is like a lifesaver with a lot of kids and twins, getting in and out, bucket seats, etc., etc., etc. And that costs $7,000, and that was used. So yes, the answer is yes. I don't think I've ever found a car under $2,000, at least here in New York, that actually ran. I bought a car for $1,000 when I was 18 or 19, and it didn't even make it home from the place that I just bought it from. What can you do? That's life.